Let me ask you something real quick. What if nothing changes for you this year? What if you wake up in December and you're living the exact same life, the same routine, the same stress, the same conversations, the same struggles? How would that make you feel? Because there's a quote that I've been sitting with a lot lately. If you do what you always did, then you will get what you always got. And today I want to talk about how this one sentence can be the most important mindset shift for you this year. Welcome back to Abroad with Jay. And if you're new here, this channel is all about life beyond your comfort zone, living abroad, mindset shifts, and building a life that actually feels good and not just looks good on paper. And since this is the first video of the year, I wanted it to be less about logistics and more about transformation. Because before you change your location, before you change your income, before you change your lifestyle, before you change your circumstances, you're gonna have to change who you're being. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Wanting more is easy. Everyone wants more money, more time, more peace, and more freedom. But wanting all this is not something that's gonna change your life. People won't change, but they wanna keep the same old habits. They want peace, but they wanna keep the same old environments. They want growth, but they want to keep the same old conversations. They even want a new life, but you know what? They refuse to become a new person. And then they turn around and they wonder why nothing changes. Listen, you can pray for change all day long, but if you wake up in the morning and you do the same old things, your life is going to stay the same. And why this quote hits so hard for me and for you as well is it puts the power back in our hands, and not in a harsh way, but in an empowerment way. If your results have not changed, that doesn't mean you fail. It just means your patterns have stayed the same. Real change requires disruption. And it can look something like waking up earlier or changing how you start your day. Learning a skill that you once told yourself it was too hard. Setting boundaries where you never had them before. Saying no to things that you used to say yes to. And here's my favorite one. Letting go of people who only know the old version of you. Comfort is what keeps people stuck. Not failure, not fear, comfort. Growth is not comfortable. If it were, then everybody would be living their dream. And comfort is expensive. It can cost you your potential and time that you will never get back. I'm gonna be honest with you, and I'm gonna say this clearly. My life did not change because I got lucky. It changed because I got uncomfortable. Because I stopped doing what I always did. I was willing to look crazy to the people who didn't see my vision. I was willing to be misunderstood. Moving to Dominican Republic or preparing my move didn't magically fix my life. It forced me to grow. It forced me to learn new skills, build new habits, forced me to meet new people. It forced me to evolve. I realized I had to stop explaining myself to people who were committed to misunderstanding me. Sometimes the environment of who you're becoming is too small. You gotta get out of it. And that's the part people don't talk about enough. Sometimes the change you're asking for requires a new environment to support the new you. If you want a new life, you're gonna have to do something different. But becoming this new person doesn't happen overnight. You become a different person through repeated actions. And your habits are votes for the person that you're actually becoming. So that means if you keep voting for the same habits, you're gonna create and keep the same life. So ask yourself, what habits do you currently have that's keeping you in the exact same place? And what habits would you need to create the version that you wanna be? And lastly, what are you avoiding that makes you feel uncomfortable? That one there is key. And I'm gonna tell you, that's the one that grabbed me, because I remember doing affiliate marketing, online marketing, all this stuff back in the day. I bought a course from someone and they told me, hey, you need to get on video. You need to put yourself out there because that's how people are gonna interact. And that's how you build trust. And I never wanted to do it. This was back in 2016. And I never wanted to do it because I didn't want to show my face on camera. And look at me now, showing my face on camera. If I would have started showing my face on camera back in the day, when the course I paid for and the mentor told me what I need to do, I would probably be in a better position now. Discomfort is not a sign that you're doing something wrong. it's often a sign that you're doing something new. And sometimes that can feel like a loss, but when you think about it, it's actually a win. Here's what I realized. Sometimes growth requires new input. You can't become a new person while you keep everything else the same. Same friends, same routines, same conversations. At some point, you're gonna have to choose. Do you want familiarity or do you want growth? Pick one, because you're rarely gonna get both of them at the same time. And we have to start being honest about what supports our growth and what drains it. Because you can't become a new person while protecting everything that made you the old one. Like for me, I only wanna surround myself with people who are discussing progress, business, growth. I don't have time to talk to people who wanna talk about women and going out to the club and partying. I don't care to hear any of that shit. I don't care. Matter of fact, a grown man talking to another grown man about women that he's bagged has low self-esteem. Why would you be talking to another man about women you're bagging? When people reach out to me and they say, hey Jay, man, I want to pick your brain, chat up, have a drink, I rarely respond to those emails. I don't want to have a drink. I can have a drink at my house. Or we're going to talk about business, or we're going to talk about growth, or we're going to talk about development, because if not, it does me no good to hang out with you. It's a one-sided meeting. I don't have time for that. If you want to pick my brain, book a consultation. But I just don't have time to go out, chat it up, and have a drink. I just don't. Because your habits are proof of who you believe that you are. If your habits stay the same, then your identity will as well. And if your identity stays the same, so will your life. I want you to pause for a minute and really think about this. What in your life would change if you just did one thing differently this year? Just one thing differently. What would change? Like if you change one habit, one decision, one boundary, one risk, what would change in your life? I'm gonna tell you what changed in my life when I changed one habit. This was back in, I don't know, maybe 2011 or something like this. My life started on a trajectory. And that one habit I changed, I started reading books. That changed my life, because you don't need to overhaul your entire life overnight, but you do need to stop respecting different results when you're performing the same actions. Listen, this year is not about you becoming perfect. It's about you becoming intentional. It's about choosing growth over comfort, alignment over approval, courage over fear. Listen, it's okay to outgrow the old version of you. You survived it. You are allowed to want more, because you're allowed to become someone new. Comment below, what are you willing to do differently this year to make a change? I want to see it in the comment section below, because nothing changes until something changes. And that something has to be you. Stop waiting for life to feel different and start doing something different. Lastly, if you're curious about the cost of living here in Dominican Republic, I've created a Dominican Republic cost of living calculator to help you with that. When you join my newsletter, I will send that directly over to you, and you can plug in your own lifestyle from housing, transportation, groceries, and see what your monthly life here can realistically look like. It's not about deciding today, it's about getting clarity. And the link below to sign up is there whenever you're ready. So remember guys, always keep your goals at the forefront of your mind. Always live in the present, because that's the only way you're gonna live your best life. And I'm out. Peace.
Je ben God my best life, yeah. Je ben God my best life, yeah. Something you and me, oh. Je ben God my best life, yeah. Jumping, flexing,